Okay. Yo. What's going on, everybody? It's the Black Monk Critic here. I see Shadi in the chat. What's good? What's good? This is a new manga that hopefully I continue to react to. I don't see it being a super long series, which to me is a good thing because I don't want series to be super long. Like sometimes like I just don't. I think there are just too many series that are like 600 chapters, 500 chapters. I'm like, nah. Give me a series that's like 200 chapters, 300 chapters max. That I haven't started yet. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to the second chapter. I love the first chapter. It was like it's one of the few new sort of like manga that like really grabbed my attention and was like, oh, I want to read this. So I'm adding it to the reaction, and also because it's just like one chapter at a time, I don't have to like catch up to like 40 chapters or 100 chapters or something like that. So I can add it. I can add it on Sundays, and it won't be an issue. All right. So I'm really looking forward to reading the second chapter. And yeah. All right. I'm gonna have a stream later on today. Before I get into, the like other things that I'm gonna be reacting to, like the longer ones, like Jujutsu Kaisen, and The Promised Neverland, because I have to catch up on those. And I'm gonna get to Haikyu next. I'm gonna get to Spy Family next. But then after that, it's gonna be like the other two streams will be like after that, like sort of discussion stream that I'm gonna have. So it's just gonna be like a general manga discussion stream. So look out for that. Anyways, once again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave a comment on the video if you have thoughts about this series so far and how you feel about it. And follow me on Twitter if you haven't done that already. Also, check out my Patreon. All right, I got a Patreon. It's as low as $2 if you want to support. Again, like for me, like if you want to support, you support. If you feel like you can't, not a big deal. Like I'm not looking at people be like, you didn't support. Like that's ridiculous. Like quite frankly, So if you can, great, and if you can't, hey, I got you. You know what I mean? I get it. So, and videos. I usually put out certain types of content on YouTube 2 weeks later, anyways. So you can always just kind of wait for the 2 weeks to have that content come out. But when it comes to like the Hunter x Hunter content, you'll wait a while for that too. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's get into this chapter. I've been really looking forward to reading it. I wanted to read this one first, but I was like, let me get to My Hero because people have been talking about how great My Hero was. And so I'm going to read this and then I'm going to get to Haikyu. All right. People have been talking about Haikyu too. So I'm going to get into that as well. Let me plug in my laptop because it's finna die. So let's do this. All right. Chapter 2. The story that couldn't stop. Okay. Many stories feature what is called a point of no return. This is the moment that the protagonist has to make a fateful choice to go back to normal life or to continue down their present course. That's true. So where was it? Where was my point of no return? No way. You're kidding. So it wasn't a dream after all. Wait a second. Does that mean the White Knight I drew is plagiarized? Yo. See, this is what I'm like. I like that he realized that very quickly, right? It wasn't like, he should have realized that the first time, but he wasn't sure if what he was dealing with was like a dream or not. And I like that this mangaka has decided to deal with that fairly quickly now. I like that. That's something that I'm worried about. I also want to make sure that I know he's a protagonist, but I also want I forgot her name, but I want to make sure that she's also a protagonist in this manga and that she gets her due. That's my thing. Like she better get her due. Let's go. All right. Oh no, what have I done? Wait, but this is a series that starts 10 years in the future. It doesn't exist in the present day. So I'm not actually hurting anyone, right? Nope. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wrong. That doesn't matter. A manga is a precious jewel, distilled from the blood, sweat, and tears of an artist, and I completely ripped it off. What should I do now? Ding. Okay. Oh, right. It's a time machine. What if I've actually done something much worse? Now that I've published White Knight first, there's probably a time paradox. So the original White Knight won't appear in Jump 10 years from now. Does that mean I've changed the future? Wait a second. It's still here. White Knight Chapter 7. And it's still by Itsuki Aino. The past has been greatly changed, but the future hasn't? Okay. So it says 2020, change, White Knight. He has White Knight. Teppei Sasaki's White Knight one-shot. 2030, no change. Itsuki Aino's White Knight series. If this paradox is preserved, then that means the timelines have diverged. If there is only one timeline, then if you change the past through time travel, the future changes as well. But the future hasn't changed. I bet that at the moment of the first microwave ding, a parallel world split off, creating a timeline where I publish White Knight instead. And the issues of Jump keep leaping across timelines from their original world into my microwave, is how I see it. But that's just a guess from my knowledge of sci-fi. I don't really know. This is the one thing I like. I like when time travel stories are like self-aware, where it's like, I don't really know. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I'm not a quantum physicist. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't study this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I only know so far as my knowledge of sci-fi and my knowledge of like things that somehow make sense. You know, I think a lot of people like to sort of say certain things, but like really don't know what they're talking about when it comes to that stuff. Like, I don't pretend to know that I know like everything about how time travel should function or whatever. But I like that authors still attempt to try, you know? And there are certain things that, you know, sci-fi authors have attempted. So I like that. You know, where it's like, I don't know, but here's what I think. You know, it doesn't make sense. Why did this happen? Truth is stranger than manga, huh? I like that. Truth is stranger than fiction. Yep. Okay. I read your story, dear. It was great. I'll admit, it got me teary-eyed. I'm sorry about what I said. I had no idea something that great within you. You really, I had no idea you had something that great within you. You really are a genius, Sasaki. I can see all of your humanity packed into that story. No, it's not true. White Knight isn't actually my work. I'm still just an empty human being inside. That's it. This must be the point of no return. I can still turn back now. I'll create something entirely by myself and try to get serialized. And that means this weird miracle has to end here and now. I'll take this secret to the grave. Ring, ring, ring. Okay. Hello? Sasaki speaking. Hey, how's it going, Sasaki? Have you made it back to Tokyo? How are the storyboards for your series coming along? Oh boy, there's that panic. There's that panic and anxiety that sets in, right? That makes you make like dumb decisions. Munioka. Teppei Sasaki's new editor. Okay. Huh? Oh, my series storyboards? They're not done yet at all. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right if you don't have anything put together. We'll have that meeting at 6 o'clock like we discussed, get some food, and talk about how to get you that series slot in the magazine. Oh, right. We're supposed to meet today. Okay, looking forward to it. Oh no, I have to tell him that I can't make White Knight into a series. Oh, what's my excuse gonna be? Huh? I gotta get going. I can still destroy that thing when I get back. Congrats on reaching #1 with your one-shot. Let me tell you, White Knight is gonna lead our magazine for years. You think so? My heart hurts. Yeah. Oh man. So, how are the storyboards coming along? At least tell me your general ideas. Here we go. Well, the thing is, I actually only conceived of White Knight as a short story. I don't have any plans to make it into a series. So, I'm sorry to admit this, but if we could start over with a new idea. Oh boy, here we go. What? You're kidding! What a waste! White Knight simply has to be a series. And that one shot was so well made, you could reuse it exactly as is and call it Chapter 1. Besides, if you can create something that polished, there's no way you can't come up with ideas to flesh it out as a series. Why am I not surprised he's pushing back? It's because White Knight was simply that good. And it's true that while it was packaged as a proper one-shot, the ending left off feeling like this is only the start of that story. There's no way I can reasonably claim that I can't turn it into a series. But I also can't tell the truth and say, actually, I ripped off an issue of Shonen Jump from the future that appeared in my microwave time machine. It's interesting because I feel like if anyone would believe that, it would be the editors of Shonen Jump. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if anyone would believe that like, this time machine exists and that could happen, and that they would, or at least they would, like, want to see if it was true, it would be editors at Shonen Jump. You know what I mean? All right. I'm very grateful to hear you say that, but the truth is, I guess I just don't feel the desire to draw it. Then what happens? What about the hero Kazuma's dream? And the heroine, Sora, hasn't been saved yet either. You're just gonna leave that promise with his master unfulfilled? Yo, they are pushing him, yo. They are pushing him. All right. Listen to me, Sasaki. These stories, these characters, they're not just empty lies to sell books. They're all alive. They live on the page. They live off paper and ink, just like we live off of food and oxygen. This guy passionate. And they breathe within our hearts. Yikes. Oh man, I would be bawling my eyes out with gratitude and emotion right now if this was actually something I created. But I'm sorry. The truth is, I'm just a rip-off artist. Mr. Munioka. The problem is, look at this, Sasaki. Huh? Damn. Is this fan mail? That's right. They're all for White Knight. It's your fan mail. We've never gotten this much mail for a debut one-shot from a new artist before. Oh boy. This man Oda. This man Oda. Yo. Saki, I don't know what you're really feeling in your heart of hearts, so I'm not going to demand that you give me all you've got. But I have to admit, it just looks like you're afraid right now. In the end, you're the one who decides if you'll draw or not. The choice is all yours. But don't forget, we'll be waiting our whole lives for this, waiting for the rest of this wonderful story. Oh damn, he got all them volumes. Yo, it's so good. There's no way to deny it. White Knight is an instant classic. Chapter 2 is better than the first, and Chapter 3 is better than that. It just sucks you in. I can't stop reading. What? No, not Master. No way. What are you gonna do now, Kazuma? Oh, I see. So that was just a setup for this reveal. Come on, Kazuma, you got this. Oh, whoa. When I finished reading all the chapters of White Knight from the issues that had piled up, I simply stared at the ceiling and cried. I have to draw it. No, you don't. You just gotta find who was drawing it. That's what you gotta do. Right? That's what you have to do. You don't have to draw it. No, you don't. Selfish. All right, let's keep it moving. I turned the first 3 chapters into storyboards. When Mr. Munioka read them, they were so good that he fell backward out of his chair and cried tears of joy. It's too good. This manga is divine. I made up my mind. I was ready to bring the story into the world without revealing the truth. I robbed the world of a future in which Itsuki Aino publishes White Knight. Now I'm the only one who can give the readers this masterpiece. Man, this dude, look. He's already, it's like he's a character that's complicated, but also like, to me, I don't like him. Look, this is just me. I don't like him. You know, because he's like, right, like, he knows he doesn't know what he's talking about in terms of time travel. Yet he's convinced himself that he's like, I'm the only one that can put the story into, the world or whatever. All right. Why was White Knight sent to me in the first place? Was it just a freak coincidence, or I just don't know. But I'm certain of one thing. This is an obligation. I've started the story, and I can't stop now. I have a duty to see it through. Man, get out of here. I have to draw with the cross of guilt weighing upon my back. I have to bring it forth into the world until the story reaches its end. The storyboards were brought to the meeting, and it was selected for serialization by a unanimous vote. Once again, I was reminded of the power of White Knight and of Itsuki Aino. Itsuki Aino. I know this genius shows up in another 10 years, but where is he today? And of course, he can't find her because it's an alias, right? So it's like that. I think like part of it is he's convincing himself like, oh, it's an alias, so I guess I can't find this person, right? He doesn't necessarily have their real name or whatever. But it doesn't seem like he's necessarily tried, He hasn't even really tried to find her. So, I've done him a terrible disservice, but a genius of his caliber could surely outdo even White Knight. Or maybe that's just an excuse I'm telling myself to ease my guilt. And it's also interesting that he assumes that it's a dude, and it's particularly interesting at this point in time, right? To sort of be like, oh, well, it's got to be a dude that's like created this like amazing work. Like there haven't been any women that have created any amazing works in Shonen Jump or in Shonen magazines at all. Like it's like, dude, like doing too much. All right. Or maybe that's just an excuse I'm telling myself to ease my guilt. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Excuse me. Yes? Pardon me for asking, but are you Teppei Sasaki? Yes, that's me. A student. Who is she? My name is Itsuki Aino. It's nice to meet you. Hey, let's go. Got him. Let's go. Buh? What do you mean, buh? Yes. Let's go. Found this boy. I like it. I like it so far. But again, I don't think this manga will last super long. I don't want it to last like super long. Like, and this is the thing for me. Like, I like series that, are condensed in a really nice way. Like that's not to say that I don't like long series. Obviously, I like long series. Like I read Naruto. Or I read Bleach. I read I've read Hunter x Hunter. I've read what are some other ones? Haikyu. I've read there's some other ones. Dragon Ball Z, right? Like I've read a bunch of long series. So it's not that I don't like long series. I read Toriko. I read all these series. But it's not that I don't like long series, or right, like I've read like other like long shoujo, like long running shoujo. So it's not like that I don't like long series. It's that I feel like I like series that I know I can like collect and have in a space without it taking up a lot of space. But the series is quality. You know what I mean? Like one thing I like about Dragon Ball is that it's 16 volumes and I can have those 16 volumes in one space. And I like that. Same with like another series that's like that. Assassination Classroom is another one. That like Hikaru no Go. Like those series are like series that I can have in one place and it's like not a big deal. The Promised Neverland will be another one that's like that. Although I don't really need to collect it because it's all on like Viz. But like those are series that I can have in one place and they're like relatively short. And that's cool. I don't like series like One Piece. I'm not collecting all those volumes. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I might just cause like it's a series that is important to me. Even if I've like sort of fallen out of love with the second sort of half of it. But I want a series that's like relatively short. I could see this series like being like max 100 something chapters. I don't see it being more than like like 150. I don't see it being more than that. I think if it was more than that, it'd be a lot. Like I feel like this is a series that doesn't have to be particularly long. Like Bakuman wasn't that long, you know, and other series weren't that long. So I think it's gonna be relatively short, and I hope it is. You know, but finally I like that we're getting into that quickly. It's not gonna take time for those two it didn't take much time for those two to meet each other. I think the mangaka did a great job at dealing with that as quickly as possible, because it doesn't drag it, right? Like she's got to get her due, right? Itsuki Aino has to get her due, period. So I like it. You know, so now it's like, let's go. All right. So this is cool. I'm a fan so far. All right. And I think that's it. That's what I'm gonna sort of say. But again, you know, I kind of said what I wanted to say like while I was reading it. You know, I like that like the character is very sort of like self-reflective. Although right now I'm like, no, you made that decision, right? And now we're gonna see what happens when you have the author in your face. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? And another part of it is like, is there like an age limit in terms of who can submit to Weekly Shonen Jump? Is there an age limit for that? Like, you know, do you have to be a certain age? Like, do you have to be 18 or over to submit and to be serialized and all of that? I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it, but I feel like if you were going to school regularly, it'd be pretty difficult to like be serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. I think you'd have to be like out of school and dedicate your sort of like time to that. So, you know, we'll see. I gotta look into that. I feel like there's probably an age limit. There's probably like an age limit. Like you have to be out of high school or something. But I'll look into it. You know. But again, I like that the character. I like that like this like Sasaki is is self-reflective and is like, I decided to do this, but why am I doing this? And is this wrong? And you know, what do I do? And even though I've made this decision, like, do I stop now? Like, I like that. I personally don't like him, and that's me. I'm not saying like, you know, like folks have to not like him or anything like that. But that's just me. Like, you can dislike protagonists. I think that's like kind of the point. I think that's like I don't think you're supposed to like him necessarily. I think you're supposed to kind of feel a little bit ambiguous about Sasaki. But me personally, I don't like him because he was like, all right, I have to, like, he just convinced himself like I have to put this out into the world, and right, and he convinced himself based on like some like pseudoscience, like sci-fi, you know, ideas of how time travel work and how divergent timelines work and all of that. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, yeah, you should feel guilty, and you should have tried way harder to find this artist. You know, so, you know, and now you found her. So what are you going to do now? So I'm really, really, really looking forward to chapter 3. Chapter 3 should be really good. I'm looking forward to that. You know? Yeah, right? Like Death Note wasn't that long. So for me, a series does not have to be super long for it to be particularly good, or have the impact that it needs, that it can have. You know? That's why, like, I don't need the series like to be like 300 chapters or 400 chapters or anything like that. This seems like a series that'll be relatively short. And if it is, awesome. It'll be easily collectible. I can just grab that, put that on the shelf, no problem, and we'll be on my way, right? And read another series. So I like this chapter. This chapter was pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm going to get to Haikyu, all right? I'm going to get to Haikyu. So, right, because right now it's 4, and I got a few other things that I got to read, all right? So let me get out of here. All right. And shout out to Shadi for coming through. All right. Again, subscribe if you like the content. You know, leave a comment if you have like thoughts about the series. All right, in the comment section below. Always feel free to come through to the live streams. All right. It's, you know, I would say also follow me on Twitter because I tend to tweet out when I'm live streaming before I start the stream. So it's easier to get sort of notified about that on Twitter than it is on YouTube a lot of the time. And check out the Patreon. The Patreon is pretty much up and running at this point. I'm pretty much putting out a video a week, sometimes 2 per week, depending on what it is that I'm putting out. I'm currently doing volume reviews. So usually I have so patrons, like the patrons that I have right now, they can like request volume reviews at the moment. So if you have something that you want me to review, if you become a patron, that's usually like the higher sort of tiers. But like even if you become a patron, for as low as $2, like if you put a comment out there and you're like, hey, would you mind reviewing this first volume or something like that? That's something that I could do, that I could think about and consider, So, and I also have polls usually, so look out for those. All right. So if you want to become a patron for as low as $2, come through, check it out. Videos usually come out 2 weeks out on YouTube after I put them up on Patreon. There's actually a video that I'm going to be putting out tomorrow. Well, no, not tomorrow. Tuesday. So Tuesday, my Haikyu Volume 1 review is going to be coming out. All right. So look out for that. And yeah. All right. Thank you for coming through. I'm the Black Manga Critic, and I'm out, ya.